Hello and welcome to another edition of Droppin Baums with me, your host, Baumeister. As always, brought to you by the lovely folks over at Star City Games. All right, everyone, we are on our Yorion Fires shenanigan once again, but this time we are switching it up and we are heading to a historic, a land that normally is only kept for casual gameplay, I would say, but now we're going to have real tournaments here with real prize payouts that are going to feature historic. So I figure it's time to get my feet wet and try my hand at some new decks. Naturally, I am gravitated towards Fires and Yorion just because I think it's the most busted thing you can be doing in Standard. Why wouldn't it be the most busted thing that you can be doing in Historic? So I gave this deck a try. I cooked up a nice one. And let me tell you, these games do not disappoint. This deck is an absolute blast to play and insanely powerful. There's definite tweaks to be made, and I talk about those tweaks in the deck tech, as well as talk about the individual matchups. So you can fast forward to any of the games as well as to the deck tech below, but don't go to the deck tech before the games because I do give spoilers, and then also any changes that I would make to the deck moving forward. And just overall impressions of the deck. So, all right, without further ado, enjoy round number one. All right, and welcome to round number one here with Jeskai Fires. We are on the play up against a Lurrus deck. Depending on the list, usually a pretty good matchup. This hand's fine. We do need red to make this hand busted. But even just a red in the next two turns, we can go turn three, Fires. Play a Mind Stone, kind of weak there because you do want a lot of lands with Fires. So it's a little awkward, but I'm still going to keep this. All right. See what we're up against. Oh no. I saw our opponent's hand move a couple times. That might be the Mull to Oblivion stance. All right. Okay, so they are down to 5. That's unfortunate for them. Hello to Fountain Goo. But, I mean, our hand can miss here, so this is definitely not... That helps. That is a huge fine. We'll go with the Mind Stone here. Now, even if we don't get the red, at least we can just go to Fairy Bounce. That's already going to be quite busted. Shock to the face? Ouch. What year is it? Okay. So we must just be an aggressive Rakdos deck. Does make Teferi not very good. Okay. Well, I think land plus Glass Casket here is a little better. Well, actually, this is interesting because I do want to save Glass Casket for Lurrus, but they're pretty far away from actually getting any value off Lurrus, and by then we can either Teferi Bounce or Teferi Tuck. So I think Mind Stone Glass Casket here is plenty fine. They could also have like light up the stage and trying to get damage in that way. And this hinders that a decent amount, so I think this is worth it. Well, that's kind of punished. I mean, Teferi here is great. Now the question is, do we run it a little bit and try to get a little lucky, or do we play it safe by playing Teferi? I don't think there's a real reason in trying to go Omen to find a blue source here. I think I'm far enough ahead that I think I can just go like this. And if I were to get a blue source, then it's just gravy. So let's go like this, bounce this to their hand. No such luck, but that's okay. All right, another runaway. Okay, Teferi gone. Not that big of a deal, already got the value, so not sweating that one too hard. All right, now we just get to go off here. We just want to go Teferi and Omen, try to find a red source. Let's draw. Okay, not ideal red source, but still fine. Now we can actually Nexus next turn. Unless Teferi dies. So they don't need much to kill Teferi at this point. See what they want to do. If they can't kill Teferi, I bet they just go face. And if they just go face, they're in trouble. Even if they just put Teferi to 1, though, they're in trouble. So they really need to be able to kill this to do something here. Yeah, that makes sense to me. And honestly, they just might concede with the Nexus on the stack. All right, let's go with an Omen. Okay, I don't think we need Birth, but... God, the red source isn't even that big of a deal right now because we already have the mana to go Nexus, and we have a red source in hand, so we're just going to bottom these. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so we're going to draw. Now we could Karn's Temporal Sundering, but we can Nexus first. So we're gonna set a stop. No thank you. And end step, trigger on the stack. Resolve, untap these two, and Nexus. That might just get the concession. Maybe not. Okay, gotta love that. Draw a card. Now we're still only at 5 lands here, so Fires is kind of awkward, unfortunately. But we can go like this, play Birth, and then Nexus again. All right, get a land. Say go. Got another one. Untap. Get an 0-4. Get a land. Cast a Fires. Karn's Temporal Sundering. We take an extra turn. Bounce this. This is gonna be a fun one, y'all. This is gonna be a fun one. All right, all right, all right. So it is a Lurrus deck, so we could consider Cage, but it is a really a beatdown deck, you know? So I don't think we necessarily care about that element that much. We just try to just kill Lurrus, and then it's not a graveyard deck all of a sudden. So it's more of a mono red deck to me in the form of just scariness of what I think is going to beat me, you know? So we're gonna sideboard against that. That means our Karns are pretty bad, even though we do have a lot of artifacts here. Narset seem quite weak. Elspeth Conqueror's Death is bad. So let's bring in Shark Typhoon. And we got 2 cards here. We can just bring in Narset. It forces them to attack it. I think it's better than Cage, but we might regret that later. And there's also some thought that some of our Nexus effects are bad. What else could they bring back is what I'm trying to think. I just don't think anything besides Lurrus, so let's just go like this. I like trimming the Nexus stuff, but normally, like trimming a few, but against just hyper aggressive, they are pretty good as long as you can cast them in a timely manner. All right, well, I guess I wish we trimmed these for lands. All right, so this is terrible. Mulligan this. We're gonna keep, because we got the Clarion, which is important. We're just gonna get rid of this Nexus. A little too early for that effect. So just find a white source in the next 3 turns and we should be golden. Easy peasy. That's scary. All right, do your worst, Kiln Fiend. Okay. Okay. That is a lot of damage. Wow. Okay, well, I guess we got a Clarion. Okay, and then we can go Teferi into Yorion at least, but yeah, I am quite scared. We'll take that. God, we're almost just dead to that, unfortunately. So let's go with Teferi. They could kill Teferi and we would love that, so we're gonna let them do that. Slava Runner Lightning Strike here is quite good. Kill Teferi, kill Teferi, kill Teferi. I don't think they're gonna kill Teferi. For what it's worth. Oh, okay. Getting rid of Lightning Strike. Wow. Well, our hand is heinous, so we're gonna lose probably because of that, but guess we should have kept that Nexus and got rid of a land. A Ratchet Bomb. Okay. Shatter the Sky isn't going to be enough. Because they can just go Lurrus and bring it back. So we're dead. Alright, well. As big of a beating as we gave them, they gave it right back. So they did bring in Ratchet Bomb and Fry, which really isn't a big deal. Our Planeswalkers aren't that big of a deal. They just lost to Teferi. You know, that does kind of suck for Shark Typhoon the most, I think. Any changes we want to make? I don't think so. We just drew pretty poorly there. But now we'll be on the play. And honestly, just if we were on the play, being able to stop that Kiln Fiend turn with just Teferi bounce it, and then Clarion when they played 2 creatures, would have been game. So that's as easy as that. Okay, this is fine. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. A little slow, and we do need some lands, but... Okay, that's perfect. We at least have Clarion into Karn. And Karn is just such a high loyalty planeswalker that it's actually quite decent against him. And just making blockers. Totally reasonable. No land? Oh, if it's no land, they're in trouble. Okay. I don't want to Clarion this board, so unfortunately we just have to go land. Narset. Nah. Normally a great card, but in this matchup it's not ideal. And they're just pretty likely to just lightning strike our face here. Yep. Okay, okay. All right, I still think it's Clarion here. This is just enough of a battlefield here. All right, and then we'll go like this. Then we can either Teferi or Karn. Probably Teferi. Yep. I honestly think we just have to Teferi Tuck Lurrus. Not ideal, of course, but I think it's what we gotta do. Let's get that out of there. Ah, this Rakdos deck has been giving us the beatdowns, unfortunately. I think we're likely to lose this game if they have a decent amount of gas. Have some lands. Let us top deck a Wrath. Okay. Huh. Well, we could try to just make a baby shark. Or I could just try to make a big shark. I mean, yeah, I think big shark is probably the best. Just like a 3/3 is fine. It's definitely not great. They have to have 5 damage in their hand. I got Lurrus on top. Maybe they're trying to play around Settle. Nice, nice. It does kind of seem like I would have Settle here. Does kind of seem like that. Ooh. All right. Well, they fell for the old Settle bluff. All right. Shark Typhoon. Okay. We're going to give the beatdowns. Nexus. Mindstone is not great. But we could go Karn and Mindstone and make a token and say go. Karn, Mindstone, sack Mindstone. That's all options. Or we could go Mindstone, Karn. Okay, all right. I think we can do this. So if we Mindstone here, then we Karn, then we can cycle Triome. So I guess we could start by cycling a Triome. Yeah. Okay. Mindstone. Karn. Make a 2/2. Hope for the best.
Say hello to my little friend.
Be out of gas, be out of gas. So if they have like 2 lightning strikes, we're just dead. It's the best we got. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Let's see where they're going. Are we killing Karn or are we going face? I don't know which one I want more because I think I need... It's tough. Now we just need... If we draw a Wrath, then we're just set. Oh, come on. Alright, what about Yorion? Okay, so we can play a land. What if we go... Mind Stone here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we can actually go Yorion, Mind Stone, Yorion, and make a castle token with the fact that these untap. So I think that's best. That's 2 blockers. All right. Without having to just dig through our library and hope that we, you know, just hit a Wrath off the top. I'd rather play something that gives me a decent chance to win. All right, flicker these. Then we'll say go. Uh-oh. We do have a castle token that I think they forgot about, but I think they niced us to assume that they just won. Okay. Oh my god, did they just top deck the card that killed us? Oh my god. Alright, well I guess our castle token does not work. Wow, that was lucky. Well, we can't counter that in any way. And I don't know if we have any instant speed interaction now that I think about it. They just top deck the perfect thing. To be fair, like any burn spell or whatever too, but... Do we try to do it hoping that they don't see it? Or do we try to mind... Let's just think if we have anything. Like, Shark Typhoon runs into the same problem. I don't think I have anything. I guess we just try this then. Brutal. Wow. That was unfortunate. Well, we just didn't draw too much off the top and kind of got destroyed there. After game 1, it didn't feel like we were going to lose this match. You know, I've basically felt invincible with this deck, but hey, stuff happens. We needed a Wrath at a couple key turns. Makes me wish I would have went for sacking Mind Stones there, but honestly, they had to have Fry to deal with Yorion, and then, you know, Castle as just a speed bump is not a great plan against him either, but yeah, it was just a little too fast for us, so we'll try to get him next round. We'll see you for round number 2. All right, and welcome to round number 2 here with Jeskai Yorion Nexus Fires. We're on the draw, up against a Gigantha deck. So it could be anything. But this hand is just great, so we're going to keep it regardless. All right. Looks like they mold to 6. A beatdown deck. Karn's Temporal Sundering. Gotta love that one. All right, we'll say go. Now, are we up against a beatdown deck or not? Okay, that was an excellent draw. We're just going to say go here, omen them. What are we playing against? Historic is pretty wide open right now, I have to say. Okay, well, not clear that this is good, but this will probably be good. So let's go like this. All right, we'll slam a Narset. All right, we'll get a Karn's Temporal Sundering since we already have a fire. So if we get to 6 mana, this game is over. Treats. Okay. They definitely might want lands. So I think whatever one I go for with the 2 pile, they're gonna take. So I think I'm gonna go like this. This is the best chance to have them select this, I think, if they're already flooded. And we don't care about that card, so. Kind of figured that. All right, that was a decent draw. Let's go like this. ECD is pretty good as well. So we're just gonna go fires. They'll be able to kill a Treese, unfortunately. But we'll play this. And I don't really care to make an artifact right now, so let's just tick up. Get the fun stuff going. They're probably gonna give us that fires. Makes sense. Karn has been a little less than impressive, I have to say. This is one card I might take out. I was playing the other Karn with an artifact package, but it was just okay. All right, beatdowns. All right, if they play another 3-drop or higher, we just wreck them. Okay, something that sticks to the battlefield, I should say. Okay. Well, I think our really only play here is going to be ECD. We could go a backup fires and then ECD. That seems good since they are a D-Spark deck. Get rid of this. And that does trigger Karn's Temporal Sundering, I'm 99% sure. But we're going to find out next turn. Niv-Mizzet. Oh, yeah. I'm in love. All right, let's see what they get. Okay. Not bad, not the worst. They're still very much in trouble, if not just dead. We are going to do a disgusting set of things on these next few turns. All right, so let's do this. Actually, maybe could have kept that and just played it. All right, so I think we can put this into play tapped. So we can't play this. We can go to Fairy. To Fairy. I don't want to bounce this because I actually want to blink this out. Ooh, we kind of screwed up. I should have just taken 2 here. All right. Well, we were just piecing together exactly how we were going to dunk on them, but we were indeed going to dunk on them. So Mystical Dispute's pretty good against Niv-Mizzet, but that's really the only card I really like here. Glass Casket seemed unplayable. So does Clarion, so I think I'll have to bring in a little bit something else. Always have Shark Typhoon as an option, as just a card to bring in whenever you're not sure. So one more card. I guess it's got to be Dovin's Veto. Everything else is pretty good in our deck. And they gotta have some targets for it, but you don't want to bring in too much control magic when you do have fires. But we can just blink that out, bring it back to your hand with Teferi, and then counter something. So there's plenty of ways to work around that. All right. Okay, so we got our 1 of Veto. This hand isn't great, but it is definitely a keeper. Turn 4 fires is just excellent. As well as maybe counter anything. Growth Spiral, you know, we'll counter anything we can. Okay. Let's just go like this. Hope we get a veto target here. That is not a veto target. No land, huh? Okay, so all gas in their hand. Let's take 2, just in case we want to cycle our Triome. If not, we have a veto here, and then we can go fires into Karn. That was quite good. All right. Well, let's go Fires into Narset here. I think Narset's just a much better card. Dispute is good if they don't Niv-Mizzet us specifically next turn. We can't actually cast it right now, so I kind of take that back. So Shark Typhoon seems perfectly fine. Okay, so blue-black, yeah, they can Niv-Mizzet. That is scary. Alright, how many cards we getting? Alright, well. We get to have a just absolutely sicko turn, though. So we could go to Fairy and Yorion and have Dispute. I think it's probably better to just Omen here. This is tough. Yeah, let's just take an Omen. All right, so let's go and be mana efficient. Let's go with Teferi. Bounce this. I think we're just gonna cast Karn after Yorion here, so I think we can put a land into play tapped. All right, let's go with Yorion. Reset these planeswalkers. And then slam a Karn. Reveal. God, these turns are just so insane. There's a Nexus. Yep. That about sums that up. We had one heck of a draw there, so that was an absolute delight. All right, 1-1, 1-1. Still upset we lost to Rakdos, but let's try to salvage it up, get that 2-1. Don't go anywhere. Round number 3 is coming right at you. All right, and welcome to round number 3 here with Jeskai Yorion Fires Nexus Shenanigans. All right, so we are going to be on the play against a Mori, so we got to assume Naya Winota, probably the most popular and maybe just the best deck right now. But this is an excellent hand against them. As long as we can get a white source here off the next couple turns, definitely going to want it on turn 1 because they'll probably go Elf, but we're going to keep this. We're going to risk this one to get the biscuit. White source, please. No, thank you. If we get it on turn 3, I'll live, but I'll be really excited to get it on turn 2 here. So I think we would snap off. Oh, didn't have it. No, that is the last thing we wanted. All right, white source off the top, please. I guess they had the Crag draw as well here, but we'll take it. We will take it. Not ideal, but definitely fine. War Boss. It's going to be a Clarion turn. It's just as if it's going to be Fires and Clarion. Yes! Okay, we're in the money. All right, Fires, Clarion, both modes. Get out of here. See you later. Now we should be in a dominant position, to be honest. I just don't want to see another War Boss, I guess, but it's not that bad. Okay. The beatdowns. Okay, we need some land here. But I think we want to just go to Fairy. There is some world. There's some world we just go like Glass Casket to Fairy, tick up. It's not bad, but then they can just Spellbreaker. I really just want to draw a card here. And if we top deck a land, we can Yorion here. Yeah, this would be busted. Well, that was bad. Okay. We'll say go. Not an ideal draw, of course. Still sitting okay. I like their puppet dancer over here. Maybe it was just hindsight. Maybe it was better to go Glass Casket and Teferi tick up. Yeah, maybe. Because they don't for sure have another Spellbreaker, but if we bounce, they of course for sure have it. Okay, what you got? All right, that's pretty good. We are only going to play one thing this turn. I don't even want to do the Yorion turn. We're just going to say go. I don't want to expose Yorion until I can for sure Karn's Temporal Sundering and then just take over. Plus, we want to blink ECD. And now we get a Scry to just make sure we hit land 6. That's the only thing I'm after. But yeah, if you can control this Winota deck by just dealing with their stuff on a one-for-one basis, you know, they don't snowball very fast, and you can usually just dominate them as long as you can do that. But if they get under you, they're on the play, you don't have the Clarion, it's really tough to win. Yeah, it's really tough to beat them. All right, land 5. Naya Winota, I feel is like that first week best deck, and then it just gets so much worse. Okay. Stop. Yep, that's no big deal. Don't want either of these. I just want to land. That is not a land, but actually this does work. Okay, so we gotta go Mind Stone. Yorion. Blink, blink, submit. Temporal Sundering, target player, nothing. Take an extra turn. Come back. Exile that. Okay, let's cycle this. Let's sack Mind Stone. Let's play a land. We'll take that. We'll give him the beatdowns. And Karn's Temporal Sundering. Target player. We could bounce Yorion as well. I think it's fine to not. Okay. Return Teferi. Loyalty. Player other Teferi. Draw a magical card.
Let's skip to the good part.
We're gonna attack. Bounce Yorion, because you get to get this loop going, so always kind of do this every turn, basically. Yeah. Let's go like this. We only got the one spell here, so we're only gonna blink this.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
And then we can scry. We'll keep that. And we're gonna untap 2 lands. That's not enough to do it again, so we will just say go. To scry again, I should say. Alright, good luck beating that. Rakdos. Yeah, that's a good magic card. Protection from everything other than 2, huh? 2 is the Achilles heel. Okay, well, we're for sure going to attack with this. We're going to draw a card off Teferi.
We need to move quickly.
We're gonna bounce Yorion.
That's more like it.
Okay, now we're gonna Nexus. Everyone's favorite magic card. Get rid of this, get rid of this.
We will meet again.
Now, Mind Stone. Birth. Get this. Now I want to scry if possible. 2, 3, 4. Can we Glass Casket and scry? 2, 3. Yes, I can. Okay. So we'll go like this. Set a stop on our end step. End step. Untap castle and this. Scry. No to both of these. Bring these back. Start again. Now we just need one more. Draw a card.
Hold that thought.
Narset.
I have practiced against meditate and prepare.
Fires. Attack. Okay, now we'll bounce Yorion.
Try this.
Okay, so we did not hit it. Now the real question is, do we want to just Wrath here? Because this card's terrifying. I think this is like one of the very few ways we lose. So what if we go to Fairy? Okay, I got it. All right, so we're gonna go to Fairy.
This isn't a fight.
We're gonna bounce Fires.
I've got time.
Now we're gonna Shatter the Sky. Now we're gonna Yorion, so we present lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4. Submit.
I won't forget our time together.
We will put this into play tapped. All right. Not a bad first game. Not a bad first game at all. Okay, so definitely want the cages. I like all the early creature removal. Shark Typhoon's probably okay. Narset's a little weak, but it is stuff that we really want. So this is interesting. How do we want to sideboard here? I think Karn is really bad. Honestly, I think I'm just going to take Karn out of the deck. I think Karn was just not very good, personally. Let's take out the Nexus. We have 3 cage because it's that big of a deal to shut down Winota. Winota Rider there. So I think we can also take out at least 2 of these. I'm kind of thinking one more. Maybe a Teferi. Teferi seems fine though. Yeah, let's take out one more Narset. It's just pretty weak on the draw. They can attack it pretty easily. It does help you find the Ras, which you usually need late game, and we don't have a ton of them. So it is interesting, but I think this should be fine. This hand is not fine. This hand is not fine at all. Well, let's ship this one back. Few too many lands. Oh no. Okay, I guess we're going to 5. Not like this. It's definitely keep. Yeah, this hand is great. So we're on the draw. I think we can get rid of Mind Stone. We definitely need the 2 lands. Teferi is probably just okay. But it is the only way to deal with like creatures like a Mori. So I think we can put one of those. Yeah, if only this hand was on 5, we would be set. Or 6, I mean, excuse me. Okay, probably an elf. Okay, that was a great draw. Now we get to be very smooth. We get to curve out. This card's good, but I don't think it's good enough right now. All right, depending on what they do. Okay, no land. Echo. Well, we have to just Glass Casket. I think the elf. Fauna Shaman is not that good right now when they're mana short. So let's do that. Slow them down, just so they can't Winota. That's the main thing. This is, of course, the better creature, and I would love to Glass Casket it. But if they just go land Winota, and they even attack for 1, and if they hit, we're just toast. So you gotta control Winota in this deck. Oh, I do love Fauna Shaman, though, let me tell you. Right, discarding one of the very expensive cards, that makes sense. Talia. It's a good magic card. It's a good magic card. Definitely, it shuts down our Teferi. Well... God, Thalia is good against us. I want to drop the cage, because if they have it, they can wreck us. I guess, isn't it non-human? Yeah, so they can't actually... Oh, they can just go land and attack with this, that's right. Or we try to go land Mind Stone and hope to draw land and then shatter. Alright. Thalia making our life miserable. Uh-oh. Okay, just don't be too bad. Or let me top deck a land. Ooh! Land, land, land! No! Okay. Well, this isn't bad. So we get to go Baffling End on Thalia. And then play a cage for 1. Now we've kind of shut down Winota. And then we can Wrath next turn. We're hanging on. We're hanging on for dear life here. Beatdowns. Okay. Thank God we have the Shatter. Can't do that though. That was almost a trap. Alright, your go. Now if they go Amori, we got fires into Teferi. Just not Amori and something, please. Dang it. That's still enough. Okay. I think it still has to be that. Unfortunately. Fires. Teferi. Bounce Amori. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Doesn't kill Amori though, so that is a little awkward. Okay, Teferi down. 4. Ugh. So bad for us. Yeah, that was basically GG. Well, we could sack Mind Stone. Yikes, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. Gonna need to draw something regardless. This 1/1 token actually just isn't good, so I think we should just make this, or sack this. Maybe we get something else. Okay. Not the absolute worst. So, let's go Birth. Yeah, we're only going up to 12. This is quite brutal. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. And this. It's not going to do a ton, but it's going to be funny. So they get a dinosaur. We're going to take it away from them eventually. I don't want to play Clarion. Well, I mean, I could play it and then all my thing... No, because I need to gain life. Let's get another land. Let's exile this. Exile this. Get a land. Alright, hope for the best. God, Rakdos was too good. Card is our Achilles heel, believe it or not. Yep. Because we can only gain 4 here with Clarion. If this bought us a turn, I wouldn't feel as bad. But it does not. So we're going to need to get lucky. I only have 1 more Shatter in the deck. We really probably should up that number. Get some of these Karns out of there. Yeah, we're just dead. We needed something there. Yeah. Just trying to double think, make sure there's nothing. Can't block with anything. Protection from each converted mana cost other than 4. Yeah, I didn't think it killed Rakdos, but we'll double check. Brutal. All right. Yeah, not much we can do about Rakdos, but we did just run out of gas, so I kind of do like Narset on the play. I think we can take out 1 cage on the play, because we're able to just control their creatures enough where Winota doesn't matter, kind of like game 1. But on the draw, you just really have to have that effect. But it does suck, because cage just doesn't redraw us a card. You know, it only stops that 1 effect, but they just still are a beatdown deck. They're not a great beatdown deck, because they are more of a combo deck, but they do still, you know, turn creatures sideways. Okay, game number 3. Final game here on our Droppin Baums. Come on, no! This sounds so good with 1 more land. Got a mulligan. Okay, this sounds fine. I want to keep. I kind of want to get rid of Castle Vantress. Yeah, I'm going to. Mindstone, I think, is a little bit better here. Castle is okay, but we really don't need nor want lands. So I'm going to bottom this. So we get to go Mindstone on 2 and then Birth into one of these cards on 3. Or if we really want to kill an elf, we might just deal with it right away. Okay. Alright, so Mindstone, Sego. Wow, pretty slow draw on their part. Alright, so we can go Mindstone. Mindstone, Birth. Get a land. Sego. War Boss is a little annoying here because that means we can kill one of the creatures, but then if they go Winota next turn, then it's a little brutal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Fire's Baffling End, I think, is our best play here. There is some world where we just exile both to try to avoid the disaster situation. And honestly, it might be correct. Yes, we actually do. Because if we Glass Casket the token, then we can blink it out with Yorion and kind of have that effect later. So we want to do this one to this. Yeah, okay, this is kind of sweet. All right, then we hit this. And now Yorion is a removal spell as well next turn. But just a 4-drop is like hard. Like Rakdos here is just a nightmare. It's not a Rakdos. That is not either. Okay. I think it just has to be Yorion. All right, we're gonna get rid of all of these. Okay, now I kind of want to leave him with the dinosaur. Or we can Glass Casket the dinosaur, so that's fresh again. It's kind of a cool little combo. But I don't really care about their dinosaur. So yeah, we're gonna do this. Your go. We can sack a Mind Stone if we need, but we might want Elspeth Conquers Death if they go Winota and just go for it. I got nothing for ECD quite yet. Pretty awkward Fires and Mind Stones sometimes, but normally it doesn't come up. Okay. That looks like a nice ECD target. Fauna Shaman, huh? Okay. Birth isn't quite good enough. I think we just have to ECD. Any creature now they can Winota. Yep. Okay. Are we jamming? Here we go. How bad's it gonna be? Okay. If a source you control will deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that much damage to that permanent or player instead. And why is it indestructible? Oh, they just come in as indestructible. Okay. I think I gotta go like this. Okay. Yep, it's gonna be a beating, but... we can just make a 4/4 shark. It might just be still us being dead, though. Could make a 1/1 shark. 6. So this isn't lethal on board, but Winota can trigger and kill us. I think I have to start with a baby shark. Cycle for 1. Yep, we're probably toast. All right, let's go with birth. And hope for the best, but we are very dead. No, not like this. Not like this. Oh, God. Yeah, GG. Yeah, we just stumbled a little bit too much. Maybe I ECD'd a little too aggressively. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, y'all. Well, let's see their final hurrah. All right, all right. Yikes. All right, GG. Well, we didn't get that 2-1. 1-2 is a little disappointing, but I feel like that didn't exactly go our way. But I got some changes I want to make, and I'm going to talk about them here in the deck text. So don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about what I liked, what I didn't like, and what I would change. We'll see you there. All right, and welcome to the deck tech here with Yorion Nexus Fires. A little bit of an unfortunate finish there. I feel like both of our losses, we were in prime position to win, and the games just kind of slipped away from us. But hey, it happens. There's some things I liked about the deck, things I didn't. So let's just get into it. We are a Yorion Fires deck, which is just one of the most powerful things that we've been able to do over the course of Magic's history, let alone what's in Historic, what's in Standard right now. So I wanted to try to abuse that because I think it has the highest ceiling. Now, I don't know if this is the best shell. Obviously, Jeskai Luka is an established deck where people are just having success with it. So that's already good. But I think there is other ways to build it. And maybe that version is a little bit more vulnerable to cards, you know, like Grafdigger's Cage and stuff like that. So in our 2-drops here, we have Birth of Melitis, Omen of the Sea, Glass Casket. These are kind of the things we've been seeing. They all work pretty well with Yorion. Birth of Melitis also fixes your mana, so allows you to play one of your 3-mana planeswalkers, but then defends those 3-mana planeswalkers. So that is one of the best things. We're not sacrificing these 0/4 walls to Luka, which doesn't add that extra level for Birth of Melitis, but it's just already good enough. I've already just been so in love with this card at just protecting Teferi 3 and Narset. Mindstone is the newest addition here that we get with Historic. It has just been insane, to be honest. You can still Yorion it, tap mana, Yorion it, untap, and maybe sack a Mindstone or something at end step. It doesn't do an insane amount, but it does allow you to maybe get that one extra mana that you might need to scry with Castle Vantris, put a Castle Ardenvale token in, make it an extra little bit big of a shark, you know, Mind Stoning, and being able to get that extra mana for Nexus at end step. It has its applications that you don't really notice until you actually just play with the deck. So I recommend trying it out. It's been quite good. Narset, Teferi, pretty much all stars in any kind of fires deck. We don't have many creatures, so Narset is excellent. Reblinking it with Yorion, insane. Elspeth Conquers Death, bringing it back. These are all hits that we've really seen. Clarion, Fires, Shatter, all hits we've seen as well. Once we get to the top end, that's where we get this extra level of complexity for the deck and an extra just point of reach that we get to attack the brand new historic metagame, or at least brand new for me. I haven't been playing a ton of it, so being able to dive into it now, it's been really fun. The one card I really want to talk about is Karn, Scion of Urza. We've had games where it's been okay, but overall, I think we got to get rid of this. I don't think this card is good enough, so I think we should take out both Karns, add one Shatter, add one Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and just be on our way there. I think we want like 6 Wraths for this aggressively slanted metagame. And even I would consider going to 2 Shatters and 4 Shatter the Skies, or excuse me, 2 Clarion, 4 Shatter the Skies, because it does kill Rakdos, which was a big problem last round. It does kill Kethis. You know, I just think Shatter the Sky is much better card than Clarion in Historic, just because we have a lot more dynamic of creatures. So I would go 4 Shatters, 2 Clarion, 4 Teferi, get the Karns out of there, cut a Clarion, moving forward, and that's the list I would resubmit. But overall, still very good. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, something that has just been a staple when it was legal in Standard, so it makes sense that it'd be good in Historic, and it really hasn't disappointed so far. It's not like the all-star it was in Standard, but it's still very good. 2 Elspeth Conquers Death. I've actually found this card to not be that great, just because decks are a lot faster in Historic. You know, against Naya Winota, they have a bunch of 4-drops, but they kind of just kill you with those 4-drops. So unless you can control the rest of their battlefield, their 4-drops really aren't a big problem. So I like 2. It's just okay. You know, you don't want a ton of them. Same with Shark Typhoon. In Historic, I think it is a little bit worse. Standard, every deck is kind of doing the same thing. So Shark Typhoon just happens to be good against that metagame. Not the same in Historic, so we're only have 2 of those. And now you get the juicy part of the deck. Karn's Temporal Sundering and Nexus of Fate allows us to just really go off with this. I mean, there were multiple games in this Dropping Bombs where it just looked like I started with not that many resources, and then all of a sudden my opponent's just completely dead, or they just concede to the 2nd or 3rd Nexus. I found that 2 and 2 is correct, just because I think Karn's Temporal Sundering is just a better card in this deck, but you don't want 4 of that effect, just in case you don't have one of your Historic permanents. And Nexus does allow some great things as well, like instant speed Nexus at your opponent's end step. And then if they counter it, sure, then you play your busted stuff. If they don't counter it, you got 2 turns banked up. That play tends to be pretty good. So I've just liked the split, just because they both offer their different unique effects. Let's go to the sideboard here. We got 3 Grafdigger's Cage. This is for Kethis and Naya Winota. Probably the 2 best decks in Historic, in my opinion. And it's the decks I just want to be the most prepared for right now. So I like having 3. It does suck because if you draw multiples of them, it's really bad. And these decks can just beat you down, especially Naya Winota. Cage against Kethis is pretty good, but they do still have, you know, Teferi to bounce it. So I'm not in love with it, but I just cannot think of a better option. I don't really love Lantern, even though it is something that redraws you a card. So I could see 2 Cage, 1 Lantern being correct. Actually, I like that a lot. 2 Cage, 1 Lantern, because, you know, at least if you draw a second one and it's 1 Cage, 1 Lantern, it's a lot better. You get to recycle one. Then we got Glass Casket, number 4, and then Baffling End. Up against these aggressive decks, Naya Winota, Kethis, once again, you really want to be able to deal with that. Luris, all these aggressive decks, they're excellent as well. And then we get to our anti-control and anti-combo cards. Dovin's Veto, Mystical Dispute, and Shark Typhoon all come in whenever we need to side out, you know, a bunch of Shatters, a bunch of Clarions, maybe some Fires, and we just play the control role. You know, like Jeskai Luca, we transform into that, as well as Esper Control, you know, anything that's trying to play a long game against us. Esper Yorion, those kind of decks. Historic's wide open, so there's not a specific metagame yet. But the decks that have risen to the top, in my opinion, are Kethis, Naya Winota, and Jeskai Luca. I think Jeskai Luca is our worst matchup because we're kind of doing the same thing, except they're able to just steal our permanents, you know? So that one is a tricky matchup. Like to avoid that one. But we do just get to have Nexus of Fate, Karn's Temporal Sundering to go over their head in some regards. But if they start stripping your lands early, there's just nothing we can do. So it's almost an auto loss game one. And then you hope to just play the counterspell game, play a fair game against them post-board, and then games tend to be a lot easier. But all right, so this is my introduction into Historic here. It's been a blast. I want to explore some more decks. I'm really interested in Kethis. There's a lot of things that have my eye, so we might be taking a look at it next week. We'll see. We'll plan it out a little bit more and see if we can cook up anything spicy for you. But so far, I really do recommend this deck, y'all. The 1-2 record I know is not exactly selling it, but this deck is very powerful, and with those changes, I think this deck is even better. So go try it today. Let me know what you think here in the comments section. Would love to hear what you guys think about this deck, any possible changes to make it better. Always interested in that. So for this week, I'm Droppin Baums. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.